Hey everybody, it's Tony and Mike's New Adventure, and this is episode number 2. Mike, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. And you got to admit, our first time out, not bad at all. What did we get? 6,000 views?
6.2 thousand. I don't know what that means. I don't know if like when you scroll, it just keeps counting like as you're the seconds you're on, but I'm going to take it as 6.2 thousand different individuals watch the entire video. And I told you at the end we were going to say the names of people who said Tootsie Roll.
Sure.
Here's the list.
Go ahead, read them.
Are you serious right away?
Just read, yeah, read a few of them anyway.
All right. Karen, Nancy. I'm not doing first and last names. I mean,
Okay.
Come on, give me a break. Karen, Nancy, Frank, Bonnie, John, Annette, Jessica, Susanna, Allison, Michael, Judy, Janice, Richard and Peggy, Rose, Nancy, Lisa, Roberta. These are all people that commented with Tootsie Roll, which was the word we used at the end there to prove that you watched the whole video. Rosemary, let's see, Julie, Janet, Elsa. Is that Queen Elsa from Frozen?
Could be.
Okay. Carol, Bruce, Ida, Diane, Patricia, Sally, and Barbara. That's just one column of names.
Okay, I got a lot of comments. I joined the party late, but I got a lot of comments, but only a couple of Tootsie Rolls. I want to say hello to Wendy. I worked with Wendy many years ago at WSTC. Thanks for watching, Wendy. Also Marie Rowland and Joyce Maroney. And then there were a lot of people like Stevie Michaels that I used to work with and things like that. Kathy, a longtime listener from when years ago when I was playing the oldies, when we played 45s, everybody was going back a long way. But I was really happy with the response that we got because out of sight, out of mind. I thought we were forgotten about.
Yeah, we hadn't done this for over a year, but people asked for us to do something together. We did one, and pretty much, what was it, about a half hour after we posted that on Facebook, you and I texted each other and said, I think we need to do another one. I mean, I think we need to at least do one more. So we're hoping for more than 6,000 views on this one. We do know that we actually do have some interest of possibly businesses that want to tie themselves to this. So, wow. I mean, who would have thought? But none of this happens unless, all of you, all the people who are commenting on Facebook after watching this, none of it happens unless you watch it and ask us to keep doing this.
Well, it felt like old times. I felt like you and I were still doing the show the way we used to do it. I mean, I don't think we missed a beat, and it was very enjoyable. I'd like to continue to do it every week if we can get it in there.
Yeah, well, just trying to schedule this one. I mean, look at all the things that, we were going to do it later. I've got something that's coming up later this afternoon. I texted Tony I was at a Family Dollar delivering the hot Funyuns. And I said, listen, I'm just about to finish my last store. And then he's like, I can't do it because my wife's doing this. She's not going to be here to set things up. We've got to push it. So, just this first, sequel, we're having problems with scheduling issues. So, we're doing the best we can, I guess.
We're doing the best we can, but it's good. We connected today, and I'm very happy because, believe it or not, I connected on my own. My wife had left, and I had to do it on my own, and I didn't need anybody to connect. So I'm a Zoomer.
You're a Zoomer. You're Montezuma's revenge. You've done very well for yourself. Now we've had to position you. You were in front of the window, which is, you don't do that. You don't have light coming behind you because you kind of looked a little weird. So we've got you now against the dentist wall there, like you're in the waiting room, ready to go into the dentist. You have to have Hard to Say I'm Sorry by Chicago playing in the background. But they cut the end out. The best part of the song, where it gets kind of heavier, they cut that out in the dentist's office before they go to, Journey or something like that. But yeah.
All right.
But
so
no,
how you been? What's been going on this week? I had a couple of things happen to me I want to share with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Ben got sick.
He did?
Ben got fifth disease. Have you ever heard of fifth disease?
I think I have, but I wouldn't know what it is.
You get it after fourth and before sixth. But fifth disease, of course, I'm kidding. But it's some virus. He had rashes all over his body, his face. he was scratching it. Then he started to get a fever. So he went to the emergency room. They diagnosed it with fifth disease. And then if it like keeps progressing, it can become like Kawasaki disease. That's the word that was given to me. I had never heard of that before. I thought that was a motorcycle or something, but
Yeah.
it can, and then it starts like they look into the COVID type stuff, with things that could happen to him. But, good news, he's much better. The rash is gone. And
Is he contagious?
it's contagious before the rash. Once the rash comes, that's kind of like the body's last hurrah with the virus. So once he developed the rash, he wasn't contagious anymore.
So what
So
about your other children? Are they at
they're
risk?
fine. They're fine. They haven't shown any signs of any rashes or anything like that. But it's scary. I mean, that's just normal stuff, and now it's heightened with all this COVID
Oh, sure.
stuff that's going on around. But yeah, so that was kind of my week.
Oh,
With
well, I hope he's
Ben.
feeling better, man.
Yeah, he is feeling better. What about you?
It's funny because, my wife says that I'm stunad. Now that is a Italian slang for in a fog. Um, you don't think,
Meathead, blockhead.
stupid. Yeah. You know what I mean? She always says that I'm stunad. Okay. Well, at our condo complex here, there's 16 units. And it seems to me that every time we go to get the mail, in the mailbox, everybody else's mail is in there. So we get
Or
our mail.
you must have once paid their bills, so they just keep shoving
Maybe,
them in there.
I don't know, right? So what I do, and nobody else in the complex does this, I will get all of the mail that's not ours, and I go from door to door. If there's 2 or 3 pieces or whatever it is, I go to unit 16, I go to unit 10, I go to unit 5, just leave it there on their porch or whatever. But I think I'm being a nice guy. Okay. Everybody else, they bring you the bill 2 months later. Oh yeah, we got this, but I never got a chance to bring it to you, or either that or they get it, they rip it up and they toss it, I get a letter that's not ours. Okay, let me put it on the porch. I go to put it on the porch, Mike, and I trip. And when I trip on the step, I come down hard
Ooh,
on my side and my chest and right now this is going on almost a week, and when I take a deep breath, I can feel it. Or if you're laying in bed and you go to turn, you can feel it. I get out of the chair, you could feel it. It's like everything happens to me. Everything. My wife goes, "You want to go to the doctor?" Nah, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to do that. I'm not.
I usually fall up steps.
Yeah, this was kind of that way. Only it was one step.
I had my laptop in my hand once, and I fell up the stairs, shattered the entire screen of the laptop. I mean, it's just, normally you just trip and you look around to make sure that nobody saw
Right.
you. This was like
Right.
at 3 a.m. before work, had
Right.
the laptop, tripped up the stairs and shattered the screen.
Well, you know my history. I mean, every winter, I could go into a parking lot and there's only one piece of ice that's maybe the size of a dollar bill. I'll find it and I'll slip on it. That's the way that it goes. But my wife says, instead of saying, "Honey, are you all right? Honey, can I help you?" My wife, "Well, you're stunad. It doesn't surprise me. You're a stunad." Okay, I'm a stunad. So there you go. It's Mike and Stunad here.
Mike and Stunad. The new. What do you think of the new adventure? That's what I put on the Facebook page. You
I like it. I like it a lot. I really,
like a
really
blimp.
do.
Tony and Mike's new adventure. You can
I like
sit
it.
like on a blimp.
It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I like it. Yeah.
Well, that's coming out. The third one's coming out.
Yeah, that's coming out. Yeah, sure.
Well, what does coming out mean? I mean, do they even have theaters anymore?
Well, everything I know here at my house, if I'm sure everybody gets it, but you put on movies and you'll see new releases.
Yeah, you have to
And
spend
it's-
like $25 on it, though.
Yeah, they're like 10, $15. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So
All right. So our first video was a huge hit.
Mhm.
We're hoping the second one, is better than like Jaws 2 or something like that. We're kind of hoping that it does a little better.
Okay.
But we asked people at the end of the video to say the word that we said, which was Tootsie Roll. And, as I said, this list of people,
That's
so I'm
amazing.
going to go through some of those names. David, Sharon, Nicole, Vicky, Mary, Sandra, Gino, Gil, Elaine, Dee, Mary or Marie. Let's see, Lauren, Connie, Karen, Dorothy, Mike. No, that wasn't me. Another Mike. Celeste, Bernadette, Trisha. Yeah, that was my sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Marilyn, Elaine, Darren, Beverly, Charlie, and Paula. That's the
Nice.
stack of people.
Nice.
Tootsie
Very
Roll.
good.
And, we were blown away by all the nice things that people said. People said that we need to do this every morning between 5 and 10 in the morning. And I said, well, we used to. We don't anymore. Not our choice, but we don't anymore. And this is kind of our way of filling that void, I guess you could say. Of
Well,
people.
I can't do that, folks. I don't get up before 11 now these days. So,
I still get up. I get up at 2 in the morning. Can you believe
do
it?
you
I get
really?
up at 2 in the morning for this job.
All right. Okay.
So it's
I
just
get up
gonna
at 2 in the
continue.
morning to pee, but
Well, sure. I mean, I do too, but then I just stay awake and get ready to go to
no.
work. But yeah, unbelievable. So baseball has started. Last time we did this, it was opening day.
Right.
And we've already got problems. Sports are coming back. We saw this. I think soccer has started to play. The NBA is in what they call a bubble in Florida. And then there's baseball, where they're not allowing fans. They're not allowing really anybody in the crowd whatsoever. And the Miami Marlins have had their games suspended. I think the Yankees, their games against at least 1 or 2 games against Philadelphia were postponed because the Phillies were playing the Marlins. And what did I see? 17 people associated with the Marlins have tested positive for the virus?
Last time I saw it was 14, but it could
Okay.
very well be 17 now or better. I completely disagree with continuing the season. I mean, if there's an outbreak like this on one team, I don't know, Mike, how long before? And you know what? The Marlins, if I understood it correctly, and maybe you read this too, the Marlins knew there were a couple of guys that weren't feeling good, and they chose to back off on it, not say anything. Let's continue with the season. I don't know. Rob Manfred, who's the commissioner of baseball, he insists this is not a problem. He insists that this is not a nightmare, that the season will continue as scheduled. I don't know. 14 people or 17 people on a team, that seems like an awful lot of people in one area. I don't know.
Yeah, they said that they were going to have COVID enforcement officers are now going to be, but I don't know what those people are. Are they like the people at Walmart that give you the carts when you come in?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, what makes you a COVID enforcement officer? I saw the NFL. Is the NFL season doomed? I saw this question because the NFL isn't going to be in a bubble. I mean, they're going to be kind of like how baseball is, where it's going to be all over the place, and you can't keep these players monitored. I mean, they're telling the players to stay in their rooms, do this, do that. I don't know. I mean, you need it. You need something to watch on TV. You need something to root for. This has been so negative for so long, since March, and it's been
Mike,
great.
I agree.
But
I had lost interest. At one point, I didn't care whether the season started or not. But once you sat down in front of the TV and a game started, I was right back to my old self, and now you're looking forward to it. I'll tell you one thing. I didn't think the crowd noises would make a difference, but it makes a big difference to have the crowd noises while these guys are at bat and running around after the ball.
Well,
It
you know
really
what?
does.
It's not at every park though, because I was watching the White. First off, anybody who's a White Sox fan knows that a lot of the games in Chicago for the White Sox look the way the games do now. there's not a lot of fans. And a Cubs fan wrote on my Facebook page saying, "Oh, this looks like a typical White Sox game," and there was nobody in the stands, and whatever. But I've been watching the White Sox games, and they have an announcer that says now batting such and such, but they don't play music, they don't play crowd noise. I watched the Tampa Bay Rays game, and they have crowd noise pumped in. They have the music going when the players come up to bat, and then even I saw this: there were 2 outs, and the crowd noise was elevated, like anticipation of getting the third out. So I mean, you have some teams and some parks that are really into this and are really manipulating the sound.
Wait, same thing at City Field. I thought City Field did a great job. They've got the cardboard cutouts in the stands.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job with the sound effects because, when somebody did hit a single, the crowd roared. When there was nothing going on, it was, 2 strikes or whatever it is, the crowd was a little subdued, but you always heard the crowd noises. When the Yankees were playing Washington, I thought it was terrible. It was almost like a guy would get a hit, and then the guy who was handling the sound effects was taken by surprise. And he was like, oh yeah. And he would hit a button and the crowd, it would be like, and then cut off. It was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's, as I said, if you get a chance to watch different games, different teams and parks are doing it differently. And some of them, like with Tampa Bay, I thought that they're indoors, so they got that dome there so you can really hear it. A lot of the times you can now hear all the chatter, young kids who are playing baseball. You're always taught by your coaches, stay in the game, cheer on your teammates. Even these guys that are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to play a boys game, the Minnesota Twins were cheering on every contact that their team had. Like some guy would foul it off and they'd be like, hey, all right, Bart, yeah, all right. You'd hear them. It was just, it was fun in that way. But I would think it's got to be weird for the players. I mean, I would think when they're sort of looking around here, they have to think, what am I doing out here? I mean, what am I doing playing this game when everybody else is being told to stay indoors?
And did you see, and I thought it was hysterical, did you see Pittsburgh Pirates, whoever their manager is, he came out to argue a call. The umpire came from around the home plate, but they both stopped, put on their masks, and they made sure that they were 6 feet apart.
Well, this is where we need Lou Piniella. This is where we need, the old managers.
Do you think Tommy Lasorda would stop to put on his mask? Really.
He would have fallen down like Humpty Dumpty.
But it was very funny. They stopped, put on their mask, and now they're 6 feet apart. It was just, they were very, very conscious of social distancing. I thought it was hysterical.
Yeah. And as we said, this COVID thing isn't going away anytime soon. The big controversy from the first week of baseball was Dr. Fauci. Shame on Dr. Fauci. I'm sorry, but you can't preach to the world, wear a mask, and then be up in the crowd, not sitting 6 feet apart. They were sitting 3 seats together. 2 of the 3 had their masks down, and there wasn't a hot dog in their mouth. There wasn't a drink in their mouth. They were just sitting there, photographed. And now everybody looks at each other and says, well, if the head of infectious diseases is not wearing a mask, what do I have to wear a mask for?
No, I agree with you. I agree. I tell you, I got scolded yesterday when I went for my eye doctor appointment. I had the mask on, but my nose popped out, and the doctor was like, stick that thing back in there. You put your nose in the mask. Sorry, doc. Well, I'm sorry, but this is the rule. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was at a grocery store stocking shelves, and an older gentleman walked up to me, and you have to understand something. When you wear this mask, it heats up your internal temperature by at least 10 degrees. Everything is just warmer. And I've been wearing this mask that Frito has supplied for us, and it's a thicker type mask. So it's difficult breathing, and it makes you feel warmer. So at times I do drop it down underneath my nose. And I'm stocking shelves at 6 o'clock in the morning where there's 3 or 4 people in the store. And an older gentleman walked right up to me, and I mean was standing right here, and said, I'm doing you a favor by wearing my mask properly. could you do me the same favor by wearing yours? And I
At least
said
he was
to him,
nice about it.
what?
He was nice about it, at least.
No, I thought he was a jag.
Oh,
I didn't like it at all. And I just turned to him and I said, sir, you're within 6 feet of me. You know, I mean, we're each kind of violating each other. He just kind of, you know, I'm
I
there
know.
every day. You
I know.
weren't anywhere near me. My mask is, it's one of those things, but you see people all the time walking in places without masks and
Sure.
because they're in
Well,
the green or they're in phase
we won't even
three.
talk about, we're not going to talk about the fogging of the glasses.
It's a real problem. I mean, I even went as far as to try and go through contacts again. I
Right.
went to the doctor. I've tried contacts. You know this. I've tried contacts 2 or 3 times over my life. Each time, it doesn't work for me. My issue with contacts is the first day they're great. The second day I put them in, not so great. And the third day I can't even wear them. So they tried me on dailies, but I can't even see with these things. But the main reason why I wanted to get them was these glasses and the mask. It's just they fog up. I heard you're supposed to take shaving cream and rub your lenses, then rinse them off, and that apparently that has some sort of anti-fog thing to it. I don't know, but it is a pain. All
It
the
is a pain.
fogging
Well,
up.
it's all new territory, you know. Every single day you're learning something new. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, the whole social distancing thing. Some people follow it, some people don't. You go to the grocery store, they've got the arrows. Follow the arrows. I'm the only guy following the arrows in the aisles. Everybody's coming the other way. You know,
I thought
people
they got rid of
congregate.
those. I thought they all stopped doing those.
The place across the street, they still got it. People still congregate in the, you're waiting to get your hamburgers or whatever you're doing, and they're congregating there. Nobody's moving. You know, nobody really follows the rules. A lot of people don't follow the rules.
Well, and you know, a lot of people are home, and we've had a real heat wave here. We've had some pretty rough temperatures over the past, oh,
Sure.
I'd say at least a month. I mean, we've been above 90, lack of rain, all those types of things. Now, what people are complaining about, I was reading about this, was their electric bills. That EverSource is getting a little bit too greedy with it, and they are investigating, you know, pricing in Connecticut. So you are using the AC is running. You're home. You're no longer keeping your temperature up to like 80 while you're away, and then
Mhm.
having it sort of kick on when you come later in the day. So it's running more, which means your electric bill is going higher. But they're looking into it. So make sure you contact your state rep, your state senator, whoever the case may be. Let them know that this is an issue of yours, and because things are regulated in Connecticut, so they can certainly take a look at this and see if there's something that they can do about it.
All right, sounds good. Are we going to do another word this week?
We can, but you wanted to talk about Elvis's grandson.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but Elvis's grandson, whose name is Benjamin, I believe, he committed suicide about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And you know, I'm a big Elvis fan and everything like that. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, this was a young kid that apparently had a lot of mental issues. I guess his family, his friends, maybe they didn't see it, maybe they did, and they were in denial or whatever the case is. But it's like I always say, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. Here's a kid, he's 21 years old. What's the Elvis estate worth? $100 million, whatever it is. All he's got to do is lay back and wait for the check. You know, he looks like Elvis. He's probably got more women than he can handle. He's probably got more people paying attention to him that you can imagine. And he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. And that makes me sad. You know, that really does make me sad. What does it take? You know, what does it take? But it's like I always said, you can't have it all. Somewhere along the line, there's going to be a glitch.
Well, look at Elvis himself.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you see this all the time when money doesn't solve everything. We
No.
figured that out, but it can certainly help people who do not have money to have some money. You know, it's money can help certain situations, but it doesn't necessarily make you happy. And as you said, somebody who is grandsons of Elvis, you would think, wow, I mean, the memories he must have instilled in him. And as you said, money wise, women wise, he probably didn't have any issues when it comes to that. But people find ways
Yeah.
to not be happy, and things happen in their lives that you don't hear about before the suicide, and then you hear about after the suicide. But still, nonetheless, it doesn't solve everything. And suicide is a very selfish way of dealing with these issues and things in your life. And family members who have lost relatives to suicide would love just one more conversation with those individuals. So very sad for that family.
Yeah, a very, very sad situation. It's just funny. You just think to yourself, what could he possibly be miserable about? But you never know what's going inside the head of a human being. You just don't.
Was he musically inclined at all? Did he have any?
I don't think so. I don't think so. He was just starting out, for God's sake.
Whose kid was this? Was this Lisa Marie's child?
Elvis only had one daughter,
Okay,
only one child that we know of. There might be a couple of hundred of them around the world, but she was the only legitimate one, if you will.
Wait, are you breaking news here? You think Elvis was?
No. I'm just saying that
was not faithful. Are you wait, hold on. This is only our second episode, Tony. You're prepared to break news during Tony and Mike's new adventure?
I don't know anything. All I know is there's a lot of temptation that's out there, I guess, when you're a guy like Elvis, or when you're a guy like Mick Jagger, or a guy like Mike Bellamy. There's a lot.
Oh yeah. Look at them all. Look at the line here that's formed. All right. So, all right. Okay. As we said, this many people, at least, I want to thank Steve over at Doing It Local.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve's always been a really big supporter of mine. We talked last week about how Tony got 2 newspaper articles. I got 0, but I do want to say that Steve did a story about my exit at the radio station last year. So Steve shared it on his site. So there were people that also mentioned Tootsie Roll after watching it on there. Quite a few shares of the video. Is it Gordana or Jordana?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Caesar or Cesar?
No, I think it's Caesar.
Salad?
He made the salad. Yeah.
I like Caesar salad. A2 croutons? I like it. I like it. Doris, Bob, Joanne, Netta, Laura, Lynn, Marie, Linda, Don, Wheeler, Lynn, and Catherine. So those are all the people that said Tootsie Roll at the end of the first video. Okay, and as we said, share this on your Facebook page. I know that your good friend Ed mentioned in the comments, make it shareable. So it will be shareable. It is shareable. So share it. We formed a Facebook page. There is a Facebook page, Tony and Mike's New Adventure. I put up, I don't know if you saw it, Tony, I put up some pictures of us in the past. If you have pictures, share them on there of us. If you have pictures, Tony, make sure you put them on there. And anytime we have any updates as to what's going on here, we'll put them on there. I'll also put them on my Facebook page. But, tell your friends about it, share it. We want much more than 6.2 thousand views on this second video, because as we said, I really didn't think this was a real possibility, but we actually do have some interest of people who, want to possibly advertise here on the program. There's lots of ways that we can promote your business. We can obviously talk about it. I'm wearing a hat today. The Chicago Bears spent 0 money on this program, but I could easily wear a hat from another business. That can be said. We can mention websites. I can, do this from time to time with an actual name and phone number that people will see during whatever the case may be. Please let us know. We would love to continue this and make it profitable for us, because as we said, we are doing other things during the day And but I'll tell you, Tony, this has been a lot of fun.
Yes,
I
it
look
is.
forward to
It's a lot
this.
of fun.
We're going to do these on Thursdays, right? That's what we want to do. We want to post these on
Absolutely.
Thursday afternoons.
I like it. I like it. All right. What do you want to do? You want to do another word?
Yeah, let's do another word. So, but do I have to write down all these names again? I thought it would be like 6 people. When I first said this last week, I thought it was gonna be like 6 people, and it was gonna be very easy. I could have done first and last names, probably had like profile pictures and stuff. But when
Right.
when this many people write Tootsie Roll, I can't. Our
This
whole
is a problem.
our whole program will be me reading these people's names, which I said I would. So what, I just say their names again? Is that what we want to do? I mean, might be the same names.
Oh,
I mean, I could
That's-
just bring this paper out next week and nobody would even know.
okay. All right. Let's do it that way.
All right, so yeah, we'll say your name again during the program, but by anything else, we know that you watched the whole thing, and that does mean a lot to us, and we certainly appreciate it. So, come up with another word.
Another word. Smarties.
So we're sticking with the sugary snack. That's what we're going
Yes.
to.
Let's.
So not
let's do
Pez,
the-
but we're going to go with Smarties.
I like Smarties. I had pizza last night with Smarties on it.
You're lying.
No, I'm lying. Yes.
Did you have pizza last night?
No, haven't had pizza in a week.
In a week?
That's a new world record.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
That's exactly right.
I'll tell you this. For Frito, I got hired in December, so I'm still considered like a new hire, even though I have my own route and I go to these stores and stuff like that. So they usually have like a new hire dinner where they invite you out and they do like a whole thing. You go to this restaurant and it's a very nice thing. Well, you can't do that stuff anymore with this whole COVID stuff. So they had Omaha Steaks send me a steak, and we're going to do like a Zoom meeting later tonight while we're all eating the food that they sent us. And that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. A
Very
couple
cool.
of comments last week was that that what I'm doing is essential work. I didn't want people to think that I didn't like my job. I do like my job. It's a great company to work for, and they've treated me really well. I don't think you can get more opposite than radio broadcasting to what I was doing, what I'm doing now. But I don't want people to think that I don't enjoy what I'm doing, because I do. It's a good job and a really good company to work for. So I don't want people to
All right.
think that
All
I'm
right.
not happy.
Proud of you, man.
But if this takes off, I mean, what am I going to do?
Hey, you never know. But
Something's
you know
going to
what?
have to give. What?
Let's take it one hurdle at a time.
Okay, all right.
Let's go one
Like I
step at
said,
a time.
6.2 thousand. That was the views on the first one. What do we want? We want 8 for this one?
I think 8,000 is reasonable.
We can walk into a business with 8,000 views and say, listen, we haven't done this in over a year, but this is what we have. All
I
right,
think
I like it.
8,000 is reasonable. So let's do it. Let's shoot for that.
And you know what I realized?
What's that?
We never had to care about our appearance when we were doing radio, but now we have to.
Is that a hint?
I was going to say you actually look really good today.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I was
My wife
ragging
made
on
me
you
get a
quite a
haircut.
bit last week. No, did you get a haircut again?
I did, yes. My wife, she shaved it down.
I think you've shaved in the last day or two.
Tuesday.
I'm growing my beard back,
Okay.
but I got the zit right here. It hurts. Like this beard cuts at it all day. And then the mask. Tony, you don't want to be me. You just.
No, I don't. No, I
All right.
really don't.
All right. So what's the word again? Smarties.
Smarties.
How's it spelled?
Smarties.
Okay. All right.
It's a candy.
Those will get the names mentioned, but if somebody goes with a Y, they're out.
Okay, sounds good.
You got to spell it right. IES. Smarties. And we'll
It's
say
a
your name
twat
next
candy.
week. So we'll do this again next week, next Thursday.
All right. That's a show, right?
That's a wrap. That's a show.
That's a show.
That's a
All
show.
right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
See
All
you,
right, Mike,
Tony.
I love you. Talk to you next week.
Love you too. See you.